OKX, Binance. Oh, that's render. What the hell? Oh, Casper. KuCoin, OKX, Bybit, Mex. Right. Let's have a look at Casper. That's the futures, perpetuals. Bybit's just launched. OKX goes all the way back to May 21. July 22. OKX has the most data right now. Let me do another search. Alright, when I'm in doubt, I just add them all and then have a look to see which one the best one is, because I have no idea. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the chart with the most historic data and, relatively speaking, with good volume too. And then if you have a look at it on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, you can also see if it corresponds to the history. And so we can see here May 12th 21, that's kind of when it launched, and it just kind of sold off. May 12th 21, you kind of want this to correspond. There you go. 10th of May, there you go, this is the one, HTX. So it kind of launched on HTX. Let's see if any of these have the similar information. Ooh, nope. Nice. Nope, nope, nope. That's not right. One of these. Yeah, I think we've got the one actually, that we found it quite fast. It was May. There's a BTC chart there. We can have a look at that too. We'll keep that. Get rid of all of them apart from the one that we found. Oh, fuck. Get it back. That's the one we want to keep. Where is it? CoinX. CoinX. Keep that as well. Let's have a look at both of them. Right. So this is Casper. Oh God. I'm going to have to take this phone call, so I'm going to start this in 5 minutes, all right? Okay, maybe if he doesn't call me back. he like hung up. All right, the momentum is quite flat on this. Look, you see the weekly momentum is kind of flattened off. It kind of launched. It's not bad actually. Look, see it launched. That's the launch price, and actually we've lost it, and then we've kind of come back to test it as support. So that's not bad. That's kind of what you want to see. You want to see the launch price act as support. Yeah. So even though we haven't had a run with this, there's no run, because when after it launched it just sold off. It's quite a lot of volume on the way down. See, you see this volume? Yes, and trapped liquidity in that drop. Let me mark the all-time high. 1.33 and 2241.33. So this is the all-time low, and the all-time high is 1.33. Almost there. Okay, and people like ask, why is this wick go up and why is the all-time low lower? I'll explain why. Because you don't calculate the all-time high on the day of the launch. You wait for the first kind of something, like the first, I don't know how it works, but you can see how the all-time high corresponds to this day high here. So for some reason they've ignored the first 2 days. You see that? They've just literally ignored the first 2 days, and then they've just taken it from the high of the third day. I don't know if that's how they do it, but it's obvious that that's how they do it, or how they've done it on this. All right, so this is the price action. We can now quickly do a volume pull of the whole range. That's pretty blocky. Let me just increase that to see if I can get some more accurate volume profile. Oh, look, see that? That's interesting. You increase that, and the point of control is actually higher up. Yeah. Let's go with this for now. All right, so sorry, I'm sniffling. It's got allergies, so just ignore it. Excuse me. If we just say that that is the value area low, that's the point of control. That's the value area. We have a little bit of volume resistance above us. And the reason why we have volume resistance above us is because after the token launched, there was volume was created here on the way down. See that? So we haven't actually created that much volume in the lows with respect to the price action. So there's going to be a little bit of even though we've kind of come back into the SR, the launch price, we've confirmed some sort of SR flip here. There's going to be a little bit of difficulty to get through this point of control, just simply because of the trap liquidity in this higher part of the range. It's something you have to bear in mind, right? I do a pull from here to the low. The golden pocket's landing a little bit higher in this volume range up here, which isn't really that significant. And if I do a full fib, this 382 is probably going to be your biggest resistance on the way up. Probably. You can kind of see it kind of corresponds to the point of control. There's a bit of a range of resistance here. There's a little bit of reaction here, support here. Kind of, there's a bit of a range, but you kind of this between this point of control and this 382, there is like a resistance band, and it's a combined resistance of a fib level and a volume level. So I think that would be your first kind of significant resistance on the way up. This 236 is acting as an SR flip, and that's just above the value area low. Getting back into the value area low is a sign of strength, but you're straight into resistance. So actually it would be better to just flip the 236 into support to go up to your big resistance there. Probably that will come back down again. Probably. It depends on how the price moves up. Does it move up impulsively, or does it create support levels as the price moves up? But we are into resistance right now, and it's going to be the value area low. There might be a little bit more consolidation in this lower part of the range. I think the biggest problem that I see is that there is no volume in these lows. This is only HTX, so possibly if you look at the other exchanges, you're going to see more volume. Let me have a look. Actually, let me now have a look and see which has the most volume. OKX, Gate, and KuCoin. All right. So let's go and have a look at OKX. So that's the problem with charting. Sometimes you want volume and then you also want data. You want both. Let's just see where the volume range is on OKX. Is it saying the same thing? That's the question. See, OKX is saying something different, and this is a little bit more bullish. Firstly, the volume range is a lot wider. You still have a high volume node at the value area high. There's big resistance there. That's going to be about 0.12. So if I go back to this chart and have a look, where does 0.12 lie? See, it's at the point of control, 0.13, thereabouts. So there is big resistance up here, but because OKS is leading the way with the volume, you could suggest, it does suggest that we are above support now. That's good. You kind of want that. You want to see more volume at the lows, and what you've created more volume at the lows. In this range, you've got volume, which is exactly what you want to see. So this isn't bad. This isn't bad. This is what this is an accumulation range at the lows. But just bear in mind that there is resistance right up there. When you go up, there's going to be big resistance. Yeah, and it could just come back down because you'll get a big take profit. That is about a 2x above us. Yeah, that's what it is. Let me look at this one. Yeah. If we are gonna I mean that's your volume resistance, which corresponds with a 382. You have your golden pocket, which is slightly higher up. These fib levels will act as support and resistance levels until you break the all-time high. And then obviously you'll be looking at price discovery, and then you just do an extension. Potentially, you know, from the current price action, potentially, if we do make an all-time high, it's a big if, but let's just assume we do, then you're looking at a 98x to the first extension, about a 171x to the second one, and overextended, looking at about a 400x. 400x from the current price section. Who knows? Could happen. But whatever happens, you have to get through this volume resistance here. Right there. So that's going to require volume to push through. Yeah, and then you can head to the all-time high. That's kind of what you want to see. You want to see volume to push through to the next level. All right. I don't really see anything else, to be honest with you. We just consolidate. This is quite a healthy consolidation range, and you can see it on OKX. You can actually see with the volume, you can see the consolidation. This is just consolidation. See that? It's accumulation. That's what it is, accumulation. Just bear in mind that as soon as you get up to there, if you have bought here, you will have to sell because you're into resistance. Yeah, you're going to have to sell. Look at the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, Bitcoin chart is looking pretty bearish. But the thing about these charts is it's easy to see change. And I'll show you. That's the volume area. You have big resistance in the way at the point of control and the whole value area. Ideally, what you want is volume to be put in at these lows to move the volume area down, to move the value area down. That being said, on the Bitcoin chart, the minute the price action starts to get above this low here, that's pretty much an SR flip. So it'll be easy to see strength on the Bitcoin chart because all of a sudden you'll see the price is up here. Then you can just easily ape into it until you get to your next kind of areas of resistance. Now, whether it's the value area low or whether it's the point of control, it just depends on the volume. It always depends on the volume. You could reject the value area low. You could do that. If it doesn't, then you're back into the value area. That's a sign of strength. But then you're into the point of control and they could just reject all the point of control. And then you have to see if it forms support off the value area low. So yeah, there's a few things going on. If it rejects off the value area low, could be heading right back down to test to go back up, you know. And then you're forming some kind of inverse head and shoulders. There's a lot of things, potential things to this. There is a little bit of a swing failure of this low right now. So from a Bitcoin perspective, that's a trade. Like that's literally a trade from a Bitcoin perspective. This is your trade. And you're trading all the way back up to that SR flip. Just from a Bitcoin perspective. Just because you've swing failured that low, technically it's like a failed auction, but doesn't mean that you can't make another low. But you kind of, if there is a back test, you kind of want this previous low to hold. That if you get a little back test of that low, it's the trades to have all the way up to there. So that's your trade. All right, I think that's Casper. Doesn't look too bad. It's still in an accumulation.